Hello everybody, Anomaly 505 here, and today I'm going to show you a couple of ways to improve your Toon shaders, so let's get right into it. Okay, so here we can see a simple Toon shader, much like the one I made in my first tutorial on Toon shaders. Well, technically not my first, but my first tutorial, it was on Toon shaders. Anyway, so this is that Toon shader, basically, anyway. Same layout, maybe slightly different colors and different handle positions, but we're going to transform this into something like this. Obviously, you don't need to implement all of these things, but I will be showing the edge lighting. I will show how to get this little highlight that connects to the edge light, and I will show this, well, I think it's neat, looking outline. So let's start off with adding the edge lighting. Okay, for this, we're going to need a couple of nodes here. You need a layer weight node, a color ramp, and a mix color node. Mix color. Okay, now that we have these, you place in the facing to factor. Let's reorganize this. And then place the color to factor here, and the color for this ramp to factor, and the color from your shader into the top one. Now you plug in the result into your surface. You can't see it because I'm on the wrong thing. Okay, there we go. Let that load. And so basically what we're doing is we're getting this layer weight. We're going to put it through the color ramp so we can posterize it. And then we're going to put it to this mix node so we can use it as the factor, so we can control how much of this color we want going through. In this case, it'd be only the edge, because it's the edge light. So now we can select the color we want. And I think it works best if you select the highlight color from your shader and you just remove it from your shader. For some reason, I found that removing that handle sometimes changes the whole balance of the shader. Yeah, the shade is now gone, so I'll move this color ramp a bit like that. So now, you can see it's very soft, so we need to switch it to constant for the top color ramp here, and move the handle a bit to our desired position. There we go. Now we have a nice edge light. This looks fine by itself, but personally, I like adding a bit of a highlight that is reactive to light, to the edge light, to give it a little more life and visual intrigue. So let's get into that. Okay, so what we'll need is a couple more nodes here. You'll need a glossy BSDF, a shader to RGB, and a math node. Okay, now we plug in the glossy BSDF into the shader to RGB. You plug the color into the top value, and you place the facing into the bottom value. Now you get the output value from both of them and put it into the factor of the color ramp. Okay, so it loaded. So you can see now the highlight added by the glossy BSDF is blending nicely into the edge lighting. So that's why I removed the highlight from this, so we can have that highlight now. And if that's all you wanted from the video, we're done with that. We have an edge light now. This next part is, I'm not sure many people would like how it looks. I personally think it looks pretty interesting, so I'm going to go into it. It's going to be how to get this sketchy pencil looking outline. So yeah, let's get into that now. Okay, so for this, we'll go to our outline shader, and just for the sake of seeing things better, I'm going to increase the thickness of our outline a bit. Okay, let's get a couple of nodes in here. First two nodes we'll need is a mix shader node and a transparent BSDF. Plug in the transparent here and the RGB here, and plug in the new output right there. So this will let us control what will be visible and what won't be. So yeah. From here, we need a couple more nodes. We need a noise texture, a Voronoi texture, a layer weight node, a math node, and 2 color ramps, I believe. So, alright, let's just move this all to the side here. Roughly this layout. So this is going to go into the factor. These two are going to plug into each other right here to the math node. The noise texture will go into the factor. If you have Node Wrangler, you can push Control T on the noise texture to get this. If you don't have Node Wrangler, just oh, didn't mean to do that. If you don't have Node Wrangler, you can always push Shift A and get a mapping node from there and just plug it in. You don't really need this texture coordinate node, but I have Node Wrangler, so I'm just gonna use that. For the Voronoi texture, you plug the position into the rotation. You switch the mapping to texture, and you make this value 0.3 or around 0.3. Give that a second to load. Well, that does load. Oh, it did load. So now I'm gonna plug in this layer weight facing into here, the top color ramp. I'm gonna switch these both to constant. Okay, now I'm gonna move this handle. Oh, yeah. For the outline texture or material, disable backface culling for camera so we can see it now. See, now the problem here is that I have the wrong factor. So these two should be swapped places on the mix shader. And just for the sake of seeing it easier with this. All right, so swap those two. Okay, here we go. Now we can control how much our outline covers our shader. So I'm going to put it about right there. And then we can select how much will be transparent. Another problem has happened here. Give me a second. Okay, so I was correct the first time. Plug the transparent into the bottom and the RGB into the top. And then on the color ramp up here, you swap the position of the two handles. So there you go. Do the same thing, make it cover as much as you want. And now for this handle, you move it to as much transparency as you want in the quote-unquote sketchy look. And I think if I make it thinner, if you lower the thickness of your shader, you also need to adjust this top color ramp to make it cover less. And there we go. So now after a little bit of adjustments, we have this. You could also adjust the scale of your noise texture, roughness, distortion, detail, all to whatever you like. I think this looks fine. And yeah, that's basically it. A couple of ways to improve your Toon shader. There's also ways to add ambient occlusion and etc. I say etc. Nothing's really coming to mind at this moment. But anyway, that's about it for this video. Thank you all for your time. Before I say goodbye, actually, if you'd like to submit a video suggestion for what videos or tutorials I should make in the future, the link to my Discord should be in the description below. If you want to see some more from me, a subscription would be nice. What else? What's the other YouTuber things? Like the video if you like the video. And yeah, that should be it. Anyway, thank you all for your time and goodbye. That's the wrong button. Good. Oh, jeez. Oh man. Goodbye.